What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JBS. So today we're going to talk about a little bit something different. We're going to kind of branch off and talk about bug out bags, get home bags, kind of whatever it is you want to call it. Just kind of a lot of different names, but they're all kind of synonymous for the same thing. Now, the bag that I'm referring to is going to be my get home bag, my bug out bag. It's something I keep in my vehicle at all times. And again, this is something that I typically have that has just some of the basics. So if my car were to break down, say on the side of the road, or something were to happen catastrophic and I had to hump it on foot, that I would have some kind of basic materials in order to try to make it back to my house where all of my other resources are. Now, kind of the basics of any bag is, well, first of all, you need a bag. So get yourself a bag. It doesn't have to be anything luxurious. It could be anything as basic as say just a school backpack, right? Or you can get up to including one of these giant freaking like military rucksacks. But again, really the size of the bag and the style is really gonna be up to you. It's personal preference. You're the ones gonna be carrying it, so I would suggest getting a bag that's probably a small to medium size, and getting a small to medium size bag. And try outfitting with everything you think you need and try wearing it around for a while. Go for a nice hike, go for a nice walk around the block a few times and see how that works, right? Really really try to give it that litmus test to make sure that it makes sense for you. Now, the contents of the bag. Now again, you can go down multiple different ways for this as to what you think would be good contents for your bag. Now really, it's gonna be driven by your skill set. And again, the higher skill set you have, probably the less stuff you're gonna have to carry, so just keep that in mind as well. There are some quality of life items in there that you might want to have as well, just because outside your skill set, something like toilet paper. Yes, you may be able to use other things, but you really want to use other things other than toilet paper to kind of wipe your behind. Now, keep that in mind. So the basics, I would say, for your bag at a minimum is you're going to have some type of fire starting capability. It could be simple, lighter, waterproof matches, something along those lines, maybe a little bit of tinder, something to get a fire started rapidly if you need to, all right? And that kind of offset that, you're also going to need water, right? So the second thing is going to be have some type of water filtration, water carrying system. I would suggest probably have some type of stainless steel container you can boil water in, and that's one of the easiest ways to help purify water outside of chemical contamination, but normal biological stuff. Boiling is usually very helpful. Now, outside of fire and water, I'm going to say shelter is definitely one of the third pillars here. It could be something simple as a tarp, right? Doesn't be anything crazy, probably a 10 by 10 tarp, and maybe some cordage, maybe some paracord. It's always a good alternative, very strong. You can pack quite a bit of it in a bag. I would say that would help cover your shelter, make a little A-frame tent, do whatever you gotta do, but that is very helpful. Now, outside of that, right, I would say fire, water, shelter at a bare minimum, right? I would also make the recommendation, and you may be able to make the case that as a minimum, probably have some type of blade, because that's definitely gonna be helpful to cut paracord, also defend yourself if you need it, right? So some type of blade, in my opinion, would be some type of knife, whether it be a pocket knife, a folding knife, maybe a solid blade, so whatever it is, fixed blade knife, something like that is probably also very helpful. And I'll give you another option of mine, as I would recommend having a flashlight. And again, just because when it gets dark, it sucks doing anything in the dark. And again, for safety reasons, as well as just ease of life, I would pack a flashlight, probably a few extra batteries, or if it's rechargeable, have a means of probably recharging it at least one time. Just make sure you have enough light to get the job done. Now, again, those are gonna be my 5, so it's gonna be fire, water, shelter, a knife, and a flashlight. Again, that's just my basics. It really, you can go as far as you want. Also, depending on what your EDC is as well, you may have a firearm, whether it be a concealed carry or whether it be a collapsible rifle, whatever it is, truck rifle, whatever it is you have, that can also be part of your bug out plan as well. All right, guys, well, again, that's just some of the basics of talking about bug out bags. Again, that's just my recommendation for you guys, is to hit the basics. Again, there's a lot of other work people have done about this in regard to maybe some gray man options, something you kind of blend in, or if you have, say, a camo bag or something like that as well. I just want to make sure you're not too tactical, where you actually draw too much attention to yourself, unless you don't really care. If you're just doing it by yourself, it really doesn't matter. You do whatever you got to do. But if you're more of an urban environment where you have to worry about other people, you may want to look at maybe some type of gray man option, a very plain Jane, like gray, neutral color, kind of like nothing stands out kind of bag. Also on top of that is run through your stuff. So once you have your bag established, don't just set it and forget it. There's some things that may expire in there that you may just want to rotate out. One of the things too is you want to just make sure that your equipment doesn't malfunction, you don't have any issues. And the reason I say that is because right before filming this, I actually pulled out my bag from my car and I noticed something that was very interesting. So let me go ahead and show you. Usually on the outside of my bag, right here, I have a solar charger that just kind of, as you're walking around, it'll just charge itself up. Again, now it's how I charge my phone or flashlights, whatever it is, right? So as we're mentioning, what I noticed though is that while I was sitting in here in the trunk with all the heat, this just busted wide open. So kind of evaluating it more, it looks like, maybe hard to tell, the video here, the battery actually got so hot that it expanded and broke open the shell of the case. So this is no longer good. I don't trust this. This is probably some type of fire hazard. I'd be afraid of this thing probably exploding or getting some type of battery acid on me. So this is gonna be garbage. Anywho, guys, again, so just something to be mindful of is when you get your bag established, just to check out your gear, rotate around, and make sure everything's all good. All right, thank you as always, guys. Take care.